what do you think is the greatest challenge of higher education in this country, now that you've been involved in Plaksha for 8 years now, and Ashoka for a bit longer than that?
You know, there are so many issues, I don't know where to start. But if I were to pick one, you know, and because in my day job, I run Naukri.com, which is India's largest job board, as you know, and therefore we work with all the companies, all the employers, on the one hand, and with all the job seekers on the other. I think there's a huge disconnect between academia and industry. What is being taught in colleges and universities in this country is very, very different from what perhaps industry needs. There is too much focus on degrees, not enough focus on acquiring the right skills. Curriculums are outdated, pedagogy is outdated, infrastructure is stuck in the 90s in most institutions. So, you know, so if I were to pick one thing, I think we need to bridge this gap between academia and industry.
Prabhat, from where you sit, you've sort of experienced a whole gamut of educational institutions, ISB with MBA education, Ashoka with liberal arts. You've also been involved with online and multiple other things. You also wear other hats as a businessman. What's your perspective on this?
You know, we've been talking about problems in education for decades now. I've come to the conclusion that because of the large numbers in our country, the current model of education where you need a classroom and a teacher, the physical model which has been around for centuries now, is just not going to work. It's a impossibility. It's like, you know, we were listening to Shiprocket. I don't know exactly what they do, but it must be in the quick delivery space. It's like saying that you're going to do Shiprocket with, you know, bullock carts. You just can't do it. You can't achieve the level of quality education at scale with 25 million children being born every year. And so I don't have answers. But I think our problems are fundamentally, the core problem is that we are not able to get education to enough people who need it. In trying to get to all of those people with the meager resources we have in this old antiquated model, we are delivering poor quality. There's disconnect between industry and academia that Hitesh is talking about. People like us are solving this problem in a very, almost like a sandbox and a petri dish in a lab. You know, these are all small experiments. And honestly, we are also doing the same. We are following the old model and trying to do something in a very protected, idealistic manner.
So let me push you a little bit on that. That sure, I mean, your efforts are like drops in an ocean, and that it has to be like that. But what have you learned? Like, what is the problem, for example, that you're trying to solve at Plaksha, and some of the solutions you've come to in this process?
So, you know, at Plaksha, see, there are maybe already some 5,000 engineering colleges in this country. So we didn't want to set up the 5,001st engineering college. There's no shortage of colleges. Today, anybody who wants to become an engineer in India can become an engineer. It's not like how it was in the 90s, when it was very hard to get into engineering college. Today, anybody who wants to become an engineer, you'll get that degree. Right? It is another matter that when you graduate, companies complain that only 20% of the engineers who graduate are employable and so on and so forth. But degree, mil jati hai. So at Plaksha, you know, Plaksha basically started with a group of maybe 5 or 6 of us who actually had been to IIT in the 90s. And you know, and what we saw around us and what we are seeing around us is that, in fact, a lot of our kids are going overseas for higher education. They are, and starting from undergrad itself. You know, during my IIT days, people used to go overseas, but after their undergrad, and if they got a scholarship, and so on and so forth. Today, you know, take DPS RK-Puram, the school I went to, maybe 100, 200 kids go overseas every year. The number was perhaps 1 or 2, 30 years ago. And this is happening because I think institutions in India have not kept pace. And the reality of life also is that, like Prabhat mentioned, government has limited resources. Higher education is highly subsidized in this country. When I went to IIT, fees at IIT was lower than the fees I was paying in school. And that perhaps is still the case. And because of these limited resources which are available, and they're spread over thousands of institutions which are run by the government, I think institutions are not able to evolve, they're not able to keep pace in terms of their curriculum, in terms of their pedagogy, in terms of their infrastructure. When I went to IIT Delhi, there were 1,500 students on that campus. Today, the same campus has 10,000 students, 12,000 students. Same campus, right? So we saw all these issues and we were like, yeah, we need one institution at least in this country where we can perhaps try and address some of these issues as far as possible and try and build over a 20-30 year period the Stanford of India or the MIT of India and give people the experience they would get overseas in India at a fraction of the cost, right? Perhaps it will be more expensive than an IIT, but if you can do it at a fraction of the cost at which these institutions give this kind of exposure and experience overseas in India to a few thousand people, then over time, more people will aspire to do the same.
Right.
That's really how it started.
So Pramod, with this question started with the answer that you had given earlier. So at Ashoka, what are your learnings at Ashoka in terms of finding solutions? Because Ashoka is also different from others.
So I think the higher education, and you mentioned Takshashila. Takshashila was created 2,500 years ago. What we are just doing is bringing back the fundamental the purest form of higher education, which we as a civilization discovered. And that is that in college, you don't force feed people. You let people figure out and discover what they want to do and how they want to lead their life. College is supposed to be, school is about when you teach people essential knowledge and skills that they will need to live in today's world. College also you do that, but it's at the choice of the student. You make them independent, you make them think, you make them take initiative, and therefore you go out in the world and you tell them, okay, now go make the world a better place. So the biggest learning at Ashoka is really that you give people choice. You do prescribe a certain method by which they have to exercise that choice. They can't go and do something random, then come out with nothing in the end. But that was the essential form of education which we lost, and all we are trying to do is replicate that. The subjects and so on are less important. Of course, we will teach AI and we will teach data science and we will teach science and history and so on. But really this fundamental point of giving students agency. And by the way, when people go to places like the United States or the UK or Europe, that's why they are going there. I studied in both countries and I was surprised that from IIT, where I was really restricted to go to University of Pennsylvania, I felt like I was completely liberated. I could do whatever I want. I went from being a metallurgical engineering to doing a PhD in robotics, which had no connection. And they allowed me to do that because I wanted to do it and I was willing to put in the effort.